Alright, let's do some Mario Kart Wii modding. I'm going to start off with the applications, of course, since you kind of need those if you want to be getting the course into the game. So let's start off first with the actual file. I will be putting the file into the description, whatever it's called, and it's basically just this zip folder that's full of a bunch of stuff that you'll be needing for Mario Kart Wii. You can't really preview it, it's 200 megabytes. I'll download it anyways, even though I already have it, just to kind of show the process of setting it up and everything. See, it shows program folder 1zip, so I already got the one. Alright, now we shall extract the file so that we can get all the files that are inside extracted as well, since they're all separate from one another. Basically, I'll ask you location, just put wherever you want. I usually put in desktop because it's easy to find. Select folder, show extracted files, whatever, and then extract. Then once it's extracted, it shall open up in a separate thing. It's a whole bunch of fun stuff going on here. I'm going to start by extracting all the files, which is going to take a minute. So start with Brawlbox, 7zip, extract here, and it should just create that. Don't really need to do much else. Delete the old zip file. C-tool setup, 7zip, extract here, get set up down there, delete that. Open this up, and then, oh man, I don't remember what you have to do for setting it up since I already have it. I'm pretty sure it's a fairly simple and straightforward thing. If there's any problems, then obviously just speak them and I'll see what I can do, but other than that, just follow through with the setup wizard and it should be good. I'm going to do the repair, just make sure everything's all good, close it. I'm going to keep the setup in case I have any problems or I need to walk through anything. Next we got DirectX. Pretty sure everyone has this on their computer, but whatever. We'll just extract that, open that up, start setting that up. Pretty sure this is an older version that is supposed to meant to work with some of the older applications that have been updated. So we'll start with this one. I don't know if you can see it, but basically you go, I accept the agreement because nobody reads these things. Don't install the Bing bar. It's the only check mark on the second page. And then it will do its setup, installing components, etc. If there's anything else, of course, voice your problems and I'll see what I can do about it. It's been a while since I set this up. Anyways, mine says this, determine there's a newer equivalent version of DirectX. I don't need to install it, preferring one who does. It's there. Next, delete the old zip file. Now KMP Cloud. There's a better version of KMP Cloud called Lorenzi's KMP Editor, which I will get set up later. But just for now, because this one's pretty useful for specific things. We'll close that. Then we'll get a KMP modifier, 7zip, extract here. KMP modifier is like, I'm not 100% sure since I've not really used it, but probably figure it out at some point in the future. MKWii is a very important thing, never forget this one. Extract here. After that's extracted, yeah, MKWii, that is very important for a lot of stuff in the KMP Cloud, which you'll need to use in correlation to the Lorenzi's editor, but I digress. Delete the old zip file. Then paint.net. You don't need this if you have other things to edit, like textures and other stuff with. So I'm not going to install it because I haven't, but in case you need something that's lightweight, paint.net right here will work pretty well. Now Python, 7zip, extract here, open it up, open up the file, and go through the installing. Again, this is a thing I already have, but it should be fairly straightforward, but if it's not, then I'll look into it afterwards. Mine just says change, repair, or remove Python, so I'm just going to repair. I don't want to remove it and reinstall it because I think it might take a while. And I don't really want to risk messing up anything. So I'll just select to repair, and while that runs in the background because I don't feel like looking at it, I'm going to go back. Oh, I got to let it allow to mess with my stuff. Anyways, delete the Python. Extracted folder. Now roadkill. This one's a fairly important one for like twisty turns and stuff that you want textures to work properly on, and it's a fairly useful application overall. I definitely recommend it for specific things, but for the most part don't use it too often because I just manually go through each texture. But if you want to have a slightly easier experience with it and you prefer to have it be less hands-on and have it like that does it for you basically to an extent, then you can use that. My Python finished, so it said just special thanks. Click the finish button to exit the installer. I'll finish. Alright, now let's extract roadkill. Extract here. Delete the zip file. Open up the folder, install it. Roadkill required, yeah. Start menu shortcuts, install. And completed. And after it completes, you just close it. And then I'm pretty sure you can delete the folder. Pretty sure roadkill, you can just type in your, yeah, if you type in your search bar, you'll find it. It'll pop up. Anyways, back into the files, because I closed that. Well, didn't close it, whatever. SketchUp extensions. This one's very important since it's so difficult to get a version of SketchUp 2017 made because SketchUp doesn't want you to use their free version. Basically, it's just a slightly less impressive version of their pro version. And this will, SketchUp extensions. Sorry, this is the extension. Let's do SketchUp first. As I was saying, it's a slightly less impressive version of the Pro version, but I've gone by just fine with it. It says SketchUp Pro, but it's only a 30-day trial before it converts itself into the 2017 free version. So click on the application, let it install. Install whatever it asks you to install. Excuse me. And then it says, welcome to the SketchUp wizard. Click next. Select wherever you want to be installed. Click next. Click install to begin the installation. I'm going to hit cancel because I already have it. I don't have two iterations of it taking up space, but actually no, I'll install whatever. I can just delete later. Or I'll just conflict with its previous version, which really doesn't matter since you don't have many presets aside from the extensions. And I'll get into getting the extensions working. You only really need the one that allows you to export files as an OBJ. I think that's the main one you need. That's like the only one I ever use. So I think it'll depend on what you want to use for it. If you want something that will like reduce clutter, or if you keep on top of clutter like I usually do, stuff like that. No. Is it finish installing it? Okay, yeah, finish. I click finish, and then I think it should all be on my home menu. Yep, you'll see SketchUp 2018, delete layout 2018, and style builder. Those only work when you've actually paid for it. It doesn't come with a trial, so just move those to the recycling bin or whatever you want to do. And then after 30 days, you'll turn to the 2017 version. I'll get into I'll show how to get it installed on the computer after we finish with all this stuff. I don't know if I'll do a full run through in a single video, probably, but whatever. So then delete the old zip file because it's pretty chunky. Now we'll do the extensions. Just extract here. Then we got all the extensions, delete the zip file folder, open it up, and you'll see all the different stuff that it gets you. OBJ exporter is the main one that you want to be looking at. Oh, no. Anyways, the OBJ exporter is the main one you want to be looking at. I think that a couple of them you might need as well, but whichever ones we want to, oh hey, there's an OBJ importer. I should probably get that set up. Anyways, we'll get these all set up later when I have to figure it out. I know triangulate is used, but I don't really use it. I know that cleanup, wherever that one is also used fairly often by certain people, but I don't really use them. Alright, now let's go back to the folder. Now we need a SIG1. This one's pretty important. Extract here, delete the old one. This one is a bit weird. So basically it looks like this. You should have a bin, doc, scripts, support, TMP. If you don't have any of them, make the folder. I think TMP is the one that could be missing and you would need to install. So yeah, get that one set up. And then inside of bin, there's also TMP. So you'll want to make a folder called TMP there as well. Basically what you'll do is that you'll grab your KMP file, which is like your collision map file, or whatever it stands for, and then you'll drag it in and you'll do two different things in here. I'll have to brush up on it, but basically you just like yeah, you do something with obj to KCL. Yeah, that's it. Use obj to KCL, and then another thing to set up the KCL or KMP, whatever. I'll get that all figured out for the future, because that's going to be fairly decent into the process. Now, Wii Scrubber, this one's kind of important. I don't think I can give any links towards the, I don't think I can give any links to the ISO of MKWii. I, of course, got my own brand new copy and everything, but other people, they might have a copy and not be able to burn the disc, in which case, just go find an ISO online or whatever. I don't really care. I used to do that all the time too. And then once you get the ISO, delete the old zip file. Then you open up Wii Scrubber, and I will show this. I have to add the source because I haven't opened up this version yet, obviously, because it's brand new. I smell burning. Anyways, Wii Scrubber. This basically allows you to get out the old files and basically replace them on your own. Basically. Anyways, as I was saying, this is a pretty small window, and as you can see how huge the mouse looks that day, make the application pretty big. Anyways, you want to go into load ISO and find your ISO. I gotta find it through all this. I think yeah, fresh ISO. And then I go to my fresh ISO, which basically, whenever you find the ISO, make a folder called fresh ISO and put one of the MKWii extracted ISOs in there and name it to backup. And then make another folder called modified ISO, and you put the normal MKWii that you're going to be changing files in. The backup is basically to grab the course files for, like the SZS as they are called, and you're not dragging them out of the backup. It's more so that you're copying them onto your PC, an exact replica of them to replace. And then with the modified one, that's when you'll be replacing them, but the backup one stays pure the entire time. So open up backup, and then go to plus. And then this, it looks like a lot, but it's really not. You just scroll down a little bit until you find race. It's pretty close to the bottom. You go up some, race. And then you go to course, which is right here in the middle. It looks pretty blurry on OBS, but whatever. Go to course, and then I think the best one to be replacing, sorry, I'm really cold right now. Brr. Okay, and the best one to replace, I think, is beginner course. The _D version is what's used for multiplayer. So if you make a multiplayer, if you make the course and you want to be working in split screen, you just take the SZS, the new one that you made, and you just right click and replace. Anyways, with beginner course, you right click and you'll have an extract and replace option right in front of you. Click the extract, and then you extract that file, beginner course as it's called. That's the Luigi circuit, the very first one. And I have a folder inside of fresh ISO called fresh SZS. You don't need that, but I do that just so I have it on standby for if I need to do some testing, since Luigi circuit's the easiest one to replace. There's not really any hiccups like Moo Moo Meadows or whatever. And you save it into there. it won't replace my old one, but basically you save into the folder wherever you want the SDS. You can save into program folder like I used to. Just do whatever you want. And then after you've done that, you can close this. Yes, I'm sure I want to exit. Alright. Now, I'm gonna get Mario back up on screen so just for some visual flair. Now that we've got that extracted, I think the next thing we need to do is the actual 3D modeling itself, if I'm correct. So SketchUp, I'll go for 2018 versions, so I basically am replicating what you guys will have. I agree, because I do not care. I need to make the window smaller. I agree, go continue. I get Mario off. Man, this is just an ever-changing window size, in it, bruv. Anyways, you go start using SketchUp, select a template, use meters. You need meters because that's the one where you can most accurately use it, since the solid numbers, like for all courses, you want your course's thickness to be 3,000 meters for a proper course, rather than having to guesstimate with feet, because I don't know feet, I'm Canadian, and the and meters is just much smaller numbers, means much easier work with, whatever. So you're using SketchUp. Remind me later, I do not care. Because it thinks it's in Pro right now, so it's going to try and get the newest version of Pro. This should apply to other 3D modelers, of course. I just think that SketchUp is the best one for this, just because of its simplicity and its architecturally based. It's just based, whatever. It allows you to have a lot more solid numbers and do texturing pretty easily. So yeah, we're gonna have it be a widescreen right now, like we're watching a movie. And let's set this up. Basically, delete this woman. Goodbye. Then you want to go into materials. Yeah, I'll cover what everything does for anyone who doesn't know. I'm just showing that you gotta delete the old colors so they don't mess with anything. So you go over to materials, you go to the home, and then you just click delete. Or you have to right click delete, sorry. Replace with use material, yeah. Basically, what this will do is that it won't, because this color, when it's seen in Mario Kart Wii, will just make a green palish color, because that's its default color material, I suppose, so that if there's any missing texture, it won't look too out of the ordinary, being like a blinding white. Anyways, delete all those, because they act the exact same. You can't use any of those solid colors that SketchUp starts with. Alright, now let's start with SketchUp movement. Null mouse buttons to rotate. It's not too bad, especially when you have like something to rotate around. Like here, I'll just set up a random cube. It allows you to rotate around it pretty easily. See the whole area fairly well. Scrolling the wheel obviously zooms in, zooms out. It'll zoom in relative to where your cursor is, and faster relative to where your cursor is. So if it's on a plane, you'll zoom in faster than it when it's off into the fucking forever landscape. And then, whoops, Control Z does delete things. That does as it does with most applications. Don't draw a wiener, anyways. And then holding Shift, it does quite a few functions, like allowing this to be in the middle. But the main thing is when you hold Shift and middle mouse button, that allows you to pan. It takes a little bit two-handed movements, like playing a computer game, basically. But once you get used to it, it isn't too bad. Now, this process, it doesn't need any like hand holding or anything. One sec. So it should be relatively simple. I'll just give tips where they are needed. I'll probably do like a speed up or whatever of this when I actually get into the modeling without anything else. But I'll explain tools as I get to them. So first we'll start off with pencil. I don't really use this too much. I use it sometimes to finish connecting lines and stuff like that, but its use is limited, especially for Mario Kart Wii, because it can make uneven lines and cause a lot of extra geometry. But because SketchUp is relatively simple, having too much geometry is rarely an issue, because this is made to be low poly in mind to work with the lower end things. So that's like another reason why I suggest this, because you can't accidentally have a million polygons in a small semicircle. Because when you make a circle in this, it's over here. So the line is useful, and as I've explained, I prefer SketchUp over Blender for its simplicity, and my monkey brain go ooh, and I can't understand Blender. But this is simple enough, and it works pretty well. I've gotten quite a bit of experience out of it from the past like 3 years of using it on and off, and I understand what a lot of these tools do now, as opposed to what I used to know, which was nothing. Anyways, the line is useful. Eraser does what erasers do. I usually Control Z for anything I mess up on, but really far in the future, if you don't want to Control Z to something, you can just erase straight lines and do some cleanup with the eraser. And also down there's freehand, which is like, you never want to use that because of the sheer amount of polygons it can create, or tries, whatever. Anyways, next is the arcs. I'm going to switch this back to line. Arcs are really good when it comes to making things like turns, especially. That's what I use pi for a lot, is for turns. The 2-point arc for inclining ramps that are like slowly build up and stuff like that. 3-point arcs I don't really use at all. They might have their use, but I don't use them. And normal arc I don't really use, just 2-point in pi. So I'll show an example. You grab this, you extend that. If you get it on there, you can always hold shift and it will follow the diagonal no matter where your mouse goes. Also another rule, always make sure to reverse the first face. Otherwise, this is the side that won't have any collision. It's really hard to tell at this angle, but compared to this, which is way more white than that, because I think I can create a cube right beside it and it'll look weird. Yeah, see? You want it to look like this at all times, never like this. So be careful not to have this, otherwise things will just be completely clear except for on the other side, which could cause a lot of problems. Anyways, with this, I'm going to show the 2-point arc since its use is very, very appreciated. You can grab this and make it go over to here. The thing about SketchUp is that its curves are so simple you can see that it doesn't have that many polygons to it. So you can hold shift, it'll follow the line. It doesn't really do much anyways because it's on the square, but you do that and then you got a nice ramp there, see? And then you go erase and see, ooh, look at that, very fancy. And the only amount of tries it will have is, and unlike Mario 64, which can only handle, I think it's like 900 and some odd with basic knowledge of Mario 64 modding like me, Mario Kart Wii can handle way more. So this kind of thing, it's just child's play to the engine because it's so much easier. See, look at that. Very few, despite it looking like a nice circle, it's only made up of a few jagged kind of lines. And then I'm just going to Control Z all this. Whoops. I'm going to Control Z all of that. And then I'll do some more work with this after. I'll show it off later. Anyways, now on to pi. This one has a lot of use as well. So say you have like your rectangle going out like this. You have a long straight stretch for your course. When you grab pi, you can go like this. And then once you grab this line, your cursor will want to usually stay around snapping. If you hold shift on a line you like the red one, you'll stay on it even more. Then you click however far out you want to go, let's say that far. And then you click on this line. You bring it all the way around till it snaps. Or you can also bring it further if you want, all the way around, even make like a full turn. You can see just how simple that the circle gets after it goes enough. It becomes much more octagon-like. If you want to do it like this and then have it become a ramp and go directly over itself, if you want to make a big turn around, etc. I'm just going to do a simple quarter circle, and then we do another one of these. We take it to the other end. We go all the way down like that. Then we grab the eraser tool, we delete those. Then we go here and reverse faces. See? Nice turret. As simple as it may seem, with enough fleshing out, it can look pretty good with texturing and grass and all the works. I haven't talked this much in a while, so a bit of saliva in my mouth. Anyways, there isn't too many tries in these either, as you can see, because it goes from that line to that line, that line to that line, and then basically cut these all in half, and that's how many tries you have on a turn. Really isn't that much, pretty simple. But if you really want a kind of jagged or more 8-bit kind of a turn, you would have to, you could always use the pie, go to the middle right here, go there and make the full turn, and that would make the most simple of a turn geometry like that. Here, I'll actually show it off. So if you want something that's like a really simple kind of turn geometry, you can just like, is this on a different plane? Am I messing something up? Oh, I sure am. Anyways, forgot it's on the red line. So you go like however far you want to. If you want a really simple one, basically make it like a full 360 like that. And then you would, if you wanted to be like a quarter circle, you take it there, take that there, grab the eraser, delete all that, and then repeat again with a full circle up here. Of course, you can always delete this line that's now colliding. Actually, here. And then we grab this line, drag it across, do that, and then look how simple that turn geometry is. So if you want something that's much more retro, feels in line with older stuff, or you need to save up on polygons, you can always make the circle bigger and delete things accordingly in order to make a much more simple geometry. Because look how many this has instead. Like, it only has 6 tries as opposed to the other, which would have had like 6 in just a short distance. But also, this is a very simple geometry. Alright. We got that. Good. Grab the eraser. Two-point turn can be alright with turns, but I really suggest that it only be used for ramps, inclines, stuff like that. And pi is much more useful for proper turns and stuff like that. Alright, next is the rectangle tool. As you've seen me use, it's very simple. You just left click and drag. That's really it. You can also set parameters, because you can see down here, see how it's like 550, 1 meter. What you'll want, preferably, is for it to be 3000, so you go 3000, comma, space, however long you'd want it to be, let's say 15,000, sorry. Bam. That's roughly the size you want your course to be. Like that, see? Pretty big. I'll cover that later. Having it on scale, I'm just going to work with the stuff I still have down here since it's easier numbers to work with. So basically everything I do just times it up by 3000 or whatever. Anyways, it's a pretty simple tool. It has some pretty simple uses. Then you have rotated rectangle. That allows you to, if you want to be immediately make like a wall, immediately make a wall of sorts, immediately, as I said, make a wall or some kind of incline like this. You can see it'll go up like that. Bam. Sure, it's a bit sharp. You could always adjust it as you want to. Or you could like have that as your kind of baseline, and then you grab the 2-point arc. You go there, and then you kind of find a nice medium you like with it. If I could get this to work, please. Why is it okay? I think the best course of action for that would be to just grab this, go over here. You want to find that, go all the way down, and then go up, and then grab your 2-point turn. I haven't set any of this to the white yet because, yeah. And then you could like go down there and kind of see, and then delete that however you want, and then we'll we'll cover the tool that will allow you to make that into a proper ramp in just a little bit right after the rectangle, the push-pull tool. Next on the line is circles. Circles can work in certain things. Like, they'll work really well with certain tools more so than others. Like, let me show a bit of a quote-unquote advanced technique. So you go here, you go to the center of the circle, you drag up however far you want to be dragged, then you make another, follow along the red line, go there, go down until it's even with the other one, and then you go grab the 2-point turn, go to the midway point on this one, and then go to that right there, go to the midpoint one on this one, go to, actually, yeah, that works way better. Midway point, then you go to wherever it turns purple, double click, it'll delete the old line, middle there, wherever it turns purple, double click, and then we will go to tools, go to follow me, and then we'll grab this, and then it will follow along this line and allow it to make a proper kind of tube like that. See? That can work really well as like a entrance, the goal, stuff like that. I'll cover the follow me later. It's a bit of a complicated tool because it has a lot of issues, because like this thing is very, you don't want to use it like that. That is not what you want to use it for. Like, of course you can if you really want to. See, allows you to go there. You can make like proper quarter pipes. Like, if I were to grab this, go to the center, and then just like, yeah, no, go to there, make a long line there. Go to eraser tool, erase the old rectangle, erase that. So it's just a circle, and then go tools, follow me. Then you can follow along that, and it'll make you like a nice bowl shape. See, look, very nice. But that tool took me a long time to actually get the basics of down. But it's not too hard once you get the hang of it. Once you know all the other tools and can navigate around Sketchup fairly easily. Alright, next is polygon, which basically is just like the other one, like circle, but much more simple. Also, I think, how'd it go? How do you change the size? Oh yeah, okay. So if you press not that. If you hold nope, that ain't it. Nope. Nope. Give me a minute. It's been a minute since I've used this. Does this? Uh-oh. Whoops. I just tapped into OBS Control Z. Oh, okay. So if you hold Control and press the plus or minus keys, you can increase the amount of sides on this. So you can have it be a bunch of sides or only a few sides. See, you can make it as simple as a triangle. Okay. Make it as simple as a triangle, square, pentagon, whatever the 6-gon is, the 7-gon, the octagon, the stop sign basically, the 9, and I think stop signs are 8. I don't remember. And just keep increasing it. If you want to really like fine-tune circle, because the circle can sometimes be not very fine, then you can do this and just mash that, and you get a really, really fine circle. Like, look at that, it's so much more fine. But it's I think if you're to make a circle that same size, yeah, look how much more simple it looks. Anyways, circle tool, polygon tool, they're pretty simple overall. I'm just gonna mash this down, make it back into a reasonable number, because right now it's currently at supersonic turbo circle mode, and I don't really need that. Make it down, yeah, make it that simple, and then bam, polygon. This is useful if you want basically like posts at the beginning of the course are going to be like, say there's the finish line, say there's the finish line, like that, and then right beside it you wanted like a really simple kind of flagpole setup, you bring it out a little bit, all that good stuff, and then you just make it like a little big, make its radius like probably not 0.05 because it's going to be on the 3000 scale. Just make it like that. And then you do it on the same side as well. And then we shall use the next tool on the list, push pull. This one's very useful. I'd say this is one of the most useful tools along with the rectangle. It is that useful. Basically, you know what the follow me tool did? It had to be on a line. This allows you to do that without the line. Ooh, isn't that amazing and cool and awesome? Anyways, allows you to make stuff like that pretty easy. Allows you to like extend that if you want to, extend this slightly if you want to, etc. Its main use, however, see this ramp right here? Bam, and then you follow right there and look at that. Ooh, perfection. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite tools, I will say. I really like the push pull tool. It's really useful. Alright, and then after that we got the offset tool. Push pull is pretty simple. I don't think there's too much more explaining aside from the whole if you want to like, oh my god, I'm holding caps lock instead shift. Basically, if you want to like grab this, go like to the midpoint of that, wherever that would be, there. Yeah, to that blue line, and then if you want to get rid of this without having to erase all of it, you just pull it there, and then it deletes it. See? It looks stupid, but it has its uses in a lot of cases. Like if you want to indent certain things, or if you want to completely erase stuff, like if you make like a tunnel per se, then you could just like rectangle. Say this is basically a wall. You rectangle it, you right click it, reverse faces, push pull it, you make it bam, big, look at that, ooh, awesome cube. Let's say you want to make a tunnel through this awesome cube. I'm just gonna make it a polygon for simplicity's sake. Oh, I'm messing this one up. You get it down the middle, then you make it however big you want it to be. This pretty simple setup, just because I'm using that. And then you grab the push pull, and then you're right to the other side, and look at that clear hole right on through. You just pull it till it says offset limited, and then that basically means it's going to start deleting stuff to make room. Or not to make room, but because the stuff's in the way, it's just going to delete whatever lines it thinks are unnecessary. Next is the offset. This is kind of limited, but its main use, I would say, is for stuff like ramps. So say you have like, pull this out by that much. We push pull it up a bit, grab the 2 point, bring it there, to there, to there, to there, and then you drag that across. Yeah, see, look at that. Pretty simple. But if you grab offset, did I mess this up? Oh my god, I did. Sorry, I kind of forgot the wrong thing. If you want like a boost ramp, so you'll grab that, bring it across, and then you grab offset limited to, then you can pull it out however much you can, and then you can make this basically textured like the outside layer, and this textured as the boost layer. I'll cover texturing later because that's a whole process in and of itself, but whatever. Next is moving. That's really it. Next is rotate. It's rotating. Oh look! Oh look at this awesome rotate. Oh, disfigurement. Rotate. Ooh, so cool. I'm just gonna get rid of that. The next one is scale. This one's has its use. Like if you messed up on the scale and you got into the game and it's just a bit too small, turns are too tight, stuff like that, then you can grab this, grab the scale. It'll grab the corners of its kind of location. Then you can scale it up. You can also hit like 300 if you want to be a huge scale. Oh, look at this massive thing. Oh, look at how huge that is. I went 300 scale. Very big. Let's see how long across that is. And it's only 162. That's not even close to big enough. Anyways, when you start off, you want to make your first line 3000, and then you don't have to do any of the scaling up, preferably if you kind of have a good sense, but I've had to scale up a course or two before. Anyways, the next step is, because that was scale, tape measure. This has its uses. Say you want to know how far that is. You don't want to draw a line. You just go like that to that. Then you see, oh, it was, sorry, 0.12 estimate. I'm going to control Z those lines away because those lines are really hard to get rid of. And then you basically go 0.12 right there. And then you could draw your other one there. This text. Yeah, I've used this before. And I'm going to be completely honest, I never have. I don't want to. Alright, this is the star of the show. This is the texturing star of the show. I use a lot of the default textures in this just because they're pretty decent a lot of the time. They work well. I don't really care. So you can go into like whatever material you want if you want. I would use the road and grass materials from Mario Kart itself. You can just grab those textures off of the textures resource, look up Mario Kart Wii, and find whatever game. We'll probably cover that later. And basically you just go to like asphalt. This is just for simplicity's sake. You just like, oh, click on that. Oh, wow. Oh, is that too big? You click on that. Right click on that. Go texture. Go position. Remember, right click, texture, position. I have difficulty with that sometimes. So I just want to make sure that people don't. Then you'll see the texture map. And then you can bring it however you want. Never touch these. They ruin everything most of the time. For specific situations, I've had to use them like twice in total. So if you want it to be a much more smaller asphalt, this one is scaling and rotate. This one's pretty useful. The red one's just for location. So if you want the asphalt to be like really small, then you bring it in, and this will still snap to whatever it should. Uh-oh, I messed it up. Also, do not hit shift while you're doing that. And if you do, make sure to hit shift again. You will mess up things holding shift, thinking you can pan, and you end up turning it to this. I don't know what that means, but it ruins everything every time. Anyways, you drag that there. Yeah, drag that to there. Drag that all the way extra tiny. If you're going to pan, yeah, do that. But make sure these aren't in their white form. And then, how did I lift up the... Whoops. Anyways, you don't want to click on it, otherwise you'll lift up the pin. You don't really want to do that. You just want to hold down and move it. But yeah, make that small. You click away, and oh, look at that. Asphalt. Ooh, very fancy. Mario Kart textures obviously look way more suited for it, but whatever. Also, if you're having difficulty finding the pen, then you can just use that and slowly go to this. Yeah. Yeah, you can just use those if you really need to. And let's check tools. There was follow me, which basically just follows whatever line you want. Basically, sorry. Basically, pretty much, it just follows the whatever line is close by to it. Outer shell, I don't think I've ever used this. I don't plan on it. Anyways, just gonna go back to something like a paint bucket. That sounds simple. Protractor, I don't use that. I use tape measure sometimes. Advanced camera tools. You can create camera. Apparently you can do stuff with animation. I have not done anything with animation with this just because it's SketchUp. I use it for 3D modeling instead. Anyways, I'm gonna quickly just delete all this. Bye bye. And then I'm gonna sorry, I kind of clicked on something else. Anyways, you want to make your first line go across, have it along the red line, 3 0 0 0. That is the optimal length that you want. See, that big. After you get by the whole, oh, it's huge, what a spectacle, etc., stuff like that, then it just doesn't really seem that big at all. I could have just made an actual cube by using the rectangle tool, but whatever. So I'm going to make a very simple course right now, just to kind of show off things. Cover collision type, stuff like that. I don't know if this is all going to be one video, probably not. If it's not, hello everybody, my name is Markiplier, welcome to today's video, and Fortnite Battle Royale. Anywho, so what I'll want to do is I'm going to go to the rectangle tool. I'm going to stretch this really far forward. Also, if you grab this, hold down, I've explained, but it's a bit weird. If you hold down on another point and then you hold forward, your mouse will usually want to snap back to that point as it remembered that point last. Also, Control Z undoes, Control Z redos. So Control Y redos. So if you mess up on something, just press Control Y if you Control Z too many times. And then this will be like the beginning area. Very simple. Ooh, fancy. And then, alright, so we go over there, we go there, we go there, we go, ooh, big turn, big mamma mia. Go there, grab this. I might speed it up after a little bit, because this is pretty boring at first. And then I'll have it go forward a little bit. Ooh, fancy. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna speed it up a little bit. By a little bit, I mean like 100 times until this is finished. What you see me doing here is that I'm using the high-speed ring from racing games and just racing in general, based roughly off of my memory, because of how open that the center can be for visual flair, and it allows you to do quite a few extra stuff without too much getting in the way. And I generally enjoy this track because it has quite a few turns along with some straight stretches, which allows you to have some nice schmovement, as it is said, throughout the course. And I often prefer courses that have like some nice long turns for you to be able to have fun on. Anyways, back to real time. And as you can see, it's fairly simple. It doesn't have too much to it. It has a lot of turns, which is kind of difficult to do some texturing with. I haven't got any inclines or anything, which I can probably do some of. I probably will, actually. But yeah, this is a basic course layout. Now is where you add the flair on top of it. Like, you've got the layout, now you can add stuff over top of it. Like, here, I'll just grab this, grab that. And then I'll grab, let me grab all this. And now we can rotate it on point a little bit. Have it be like that. Ooh, wow, look at that. It's super fancy. So at the very end, you will climb up and go around. And then with this one, we're gonna have a big ol' like cube, basically, like a cave or whatever. if you're wondering what I'm making, it's a just a very simple kind of little river structure. If I really wanted to, I could always smooth out the actual bottom of it, make it look like it's natural, but I don't really care that much, so it will look as unnatural as it wants to. I'm unmuted, right? Yeah, okay. I think that's right about everything. Alright, next step is yeah. Oh wow, look at that. Oh, very fancy. Basically, this is just you wanna kind of delete all this stuff. I guess one way to make this look a bit better is just to I don't know, have it go like that. Have this stretch out into there. Alright, I think the best thing to do for here is to go right click, and go soften smooth edges. There. What they'll do is they'll make this much less noticeable, much less jagged than it was before. Kinda, smooth them all out. If I get rid of hidden geometry, it looks much more natural now than it did before. Bring back out the hidden geometry. I can still see the entire course. Probably just do a quick redraw, because actually, if I did the pie on it in the first place, I could probably do that. No. Well, I mean, I can, I think. There. Now it actually sticks out a bit more, like it was softened. It got pushed down to be like that. Yeah. Okay. This I could always soften out. I don't really feel like it. That was just to showcase what softened edges can do, which is a decent amount of stuff. It's pretty decent. Anyways, just gonna soften some of these edges. Alright. I think that is basically it for the modeling. So now, I think we can get to the texturing. Ooh. Oh, I've been recording for an hour and a half. Jesus, this is going to be some editing. Never edited before, but we'll see how it goes. I don't want it to be just pure silence. I'll probably have music in the background or whatever. I'll stop thinking about it. Just get to texturing. So basically, I say basically all the time. Pretty much what you want to do next is that you'll go into materials, and then in here, excuse me, and then once you click on the materials, it'll show up your files. If you've downloaded files from the models resource, go MKWii, find whatever courses, textures you want to steal, grab, borrow, whatever. Then you can just grab those. Do I have it? I think I have it on my desktop, actually. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, I have a bunch of the textures. I think I usually grab the Mario Circuit Road, cause no, the Luigi one, because it doesn't have the center thing. So if it gets warped and stuff like that. No, not the Luigi one. The N64 Mario Race It way. That's what it is. Okay. Pretty much I just grab this road. You'll want to change its size to be much bigger. And then when you go create material, you'll see. I don't know if you can actually see this. Oh no, you can't. Damn it. It does not seem as though I can grab that for some reason. I don't know why. I guess I really don't know if anyone can see that or not. Anyways, when you go and click the cube over there for the create material, if you can't see what I'm doing, because OBS won't show me anything. If I can, I'll probably just edit out all this insane ramblings. You'll go into this cube, When you open it up, it'll create like a window that says create material, show color wheel, all that good stuff. And then right there where it says texture, there'll be a little thing where it shows like an open folder. You'll click on that and it'll go into your files and you can grab the file that you want for whatever texture you're using. Okay, so for the width, I want to make it 3000, which is the width that I made my road. Make that one 3000. Then blap. Ooh, wow, look at that road texture. It sure is a road texture. Anyways, so we'll drag it. No, so we'll drag it down there. We'll follow in suit with its previous arc. Okay. Right click, texture, position, rotate. Yeah, like that. See? Look at that. Already coming together. Oh yeah, it's all come together. Turns are the bane of my existence. Whatever. They're fun, I guess. Bit of work. You could always use roadkill, which I might go over in the future. I'll see whether or not I feel like it. Yeah, probably not. I might. There's other videos on it that I've seen that go over pretty well. And I don't really use that much, so I just use this technique where I just draw out all the lines, and I texture each of these cubes. So it's not that difficult to do. Oh, right, okay. So if you hold Alt, you can basically take this old version of it, and then it'll bring it over and it'll be closer. And I don't remember what my technique was, but I think I'd like grab this, go to the center of this, and then grab this and bring this one, rotate to the center of that, and then it would go to that one nicely, and then I would Alt this one, do that. Then I'd go right click, position, go to the middle of this cubicle. I'm probably going to cut out after this point. Speed it up just for, viewing's sake, because this is very repetitive after a while. There we go. And it takes a little while to do all this, so I'm probably just gonna shut up and let myself do it. There we go, see? Very nice turn. Very simple, works well. When you turn off actually being able to see, I think it was edges. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's hot. Oh, that's hot. That's hot. That's basically my technique for doing that, just because I find that is much easier than messing around with roadkill unless I absolutely have to, in which case I will, but for the most part don't. I don't know if I should show off actually texturing all these other corners. It really doesn't matter that much, and I don't think it matters very much. For the sake of showing off how to do it, that's basically it. Yeah, another texture, and I'm just gonna have a generic kind of. Actually, yeah, I'm just gonna use the generic SketchUp asphalt texture, just for the rest of it, because that's a bit easier to deal with. I've put way more effort into other things, but I don't really feel like it that much right now, because it's a lot to do all this. Again. Alright. You can use the Mario stuff if you want to. I'm just going to use the default grass here as well. Also be really, really, really careful when it comes to making out of bounds. Have to be so careful. I've had days of just strife because of it. So what you'll do is pretty much, if you don't want players to go into a certain area, just go like here. Alright, that's all out of bounds. It really does look gross. This is the gross. It looks much better with Mario Kart textures since those properly overlap, and I could always mess with textures better in the future. I'll show a proper thing, like a proper course I've made that still needs some touching up. I've gotten in the game into it and everything. Bam, look at that water. Beautiful, isn't it? Anyways, let's go into select, go. Yeah, that's grass, sorry. Sand. Alright, now let's make the finish line. I always like to do a little trick with the finish line that basically is just like lift it up a tiny bit, just so when you pass it you feel yourself passing it. Texture's off, doesn't really matter. Ooh, that looks really weird. There we go. That looks good. Yeah, it looks really good. It looks fantastic. Yeah, this, I don't think this can be salvaged. Yeah, it doesn't really matter that much. Oh, now what could this possible atrocity be used for? You may be wondering, or you're probably not actually, but bear with me. I'm gonna grab the perfect finish line texture I have ever found. Like, the best one ever. Like, it is so good, I love that one. This is the line that we've all been looking for. Hidden geometry off. Bam. I think I need to make this smaller. Yep. Ooh, very nice. I don't know how much. Let's say 200 meters. Yeah. Grab this one. Let's make it 125. Bam. Erase that, erase that. Alright, let's go. Oh, 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 oh. Alright, now we're gonna do that one trick I showed. I'm gonna go from the center to that. Go from the center to that. Bam. Let's use tools. Follow me. This time's the time. Oof. It doesn't matter too much. I don't mind too much. It's very... Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. I don't think that line matters too much. That line, I don't think that this will affect. It probably will. There we go. I think that looks good. Mario Kart, and then when you pass by, you'll see on the backside Mario Kart. That should be good for the 3D modeling. I gotta figure out the extensions again. It's been a long time, but I think this will do for now. I don't know if there's any more. Actually, yeah, I could use a couple more touches just to showcase some stuff of the game. One small thing here. Let's just add a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Lift this up. The red color. Yeah, that'll be good for boost. This will show off boosting. A boost. This entire thing will count as a boost. Those edges too. Alright. You can go pretty high inclines, like you can have yourself driving like on a 45-degree wall sideways and it's fine. If you really want to be theatrical about it. Other than that, I think it's good. I'm going to save again, and I think that's good. That's good. Say goodbye, Mario.